All right, it is 6:30 on November 21st, Thursday, calling this board meeting to order. We have all board members present except Mac, so we have a quorum. As the president, I have a couple things just to pass. One is the Christmas event, December 6th and 7th.
7th and 8th.
7th, you sure? Yeah, you're right, 7th, sorry. We have right now 150 kids signed up so far.
Okay.
And yeah, so if this is open to the community, you go on the Facebook page, you can sign up. Mac is walking in. Mac, welcome.
Hey, Matt.
Good.
It was only 70 openings, like 70.
Yeah, that's right. Only 70 openings. So that's all I had as president. Treasurer, do you have anything? Rebecca?
The other thing I was going to highlight for the community is just that, we're Thomas Kelsey was voted in last week as the new treasurer, and we'll be working over the course of the next month through the end of the year to get him fully transitioned. And I would just also highlight that we still are in need of volunteers for the finance committee. As Thomas is taking over, he's going to need some support. And, I know that there's been a lot of interest around the budgets in the community. And so if anyone is interested in participating in the finance committee, we'd love to have you back.
Thank you, ma'am. The next thing is the vice president. You got anything? Nope. Secretary, anything? Nothing. Nothing. Okay. The next one is the community manager's report. Go to that.
Yeah.
It's in the packet, right?
This is from Mr. Kaczynski.
Okay, yeah. bring it in.
Yeah.
You grew up.
That's what happens. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Tell Tommy thank you.
Have a good night.
Merry
You too.
Christmas.
You'd like to have open size.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What page is your community manager? Do you have it printed out?
I do. There you go.
Oh, it's a different format. That's why I skimmed over.
Oh.
Okay, thanks, man.
Oh,
Feel like I can do it. Okay, board meeting Thursday, 21 November 2024, virtual and Lake House. Management report, master. Amenity hours. Due to daylight savings time, the hours for amenities have been adjusted to reflect the shorter daylight hours. Pool monitors. Pool monitors are now working a 40-hour week as per the updated schedule. Landscaping update. Mulch has been successfully installed at both the pool house and the lake house. I stepped in it as I got out of my car. Trees have been trimmed to remove dead wood and hurricane damage, ensuring a safe and tidy environment. The holiday lights will be placed on timers, with this installation scheduled to begin at the end of this week. And in fact, it's going on right now. Looks great. Really looks good. The dog park, the small dog park fence is rescheduled for Monday installation. Paired Villas, project update, Paired Villas Phase 1. The painting of Paired Villas Phase 1 has been successfully completed. The final inspection was conducted and the painters will return shortly to address any remaining touch-ups and finalize the finishing details. Overall, the project has been a success, meeting expectations for quality and timelines. Good job. Irrigation system. The installation of irrigation timers is currently underway, with the electrical connections being completed. We expect the system to be fully operational soon. Landscaping and maintenance. The landscaper will be trimming the bushes over the next 4 weeks to prepare for winter, which arrived today, with regular visits scheduled during this period. As the growing season winds down, the landscapers transition to bi-weekly visits to maintain the property. Sagewood, pressure washing. The pressure washing of the property has been successfully completed. Exterior outlet for holiday lights. The exterior outlet for holiday lights has been installed and is fully operational, allowing owners to begin installing their lights. Sandpiper crust, pressure washing. The pressure washing of the property is completed this week, ensuring the buildings and the surfaces are thoroughly cleaned. The trees, Hurricane Milton damage. The trees affected by Hurricane Milton are in the process of being secured to prevent further damage. Roof inspections and repairs. Roof inspections are ongoing and the necessary repairs are being scheduled. All units remain watertight with no current issues affecting the interiors. The project is progressing as planned, with all critical tasks being addressed in a timely manner. Violations. There is a report of violations from July 24 that is currently being worked on by Jennifer. The finding violations are to be sent out as a separate package from Jennifer before the meeting for the board to review and take action on. That concludes the manager's report.
Thank you, Mac and Patty. I'd like to say a couple things on that first. I just want to, first off, love the new format. It looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Second, I'm gonna applaud you on how quickly you get things done. We approve them, and then before the next board meeting, they are completed. I really appreciate that. And third, the hurricane cleanup for the HOA. I don't know if anybody noticed, but all HOA amenities were cleaned up within 2 days after the storm. 2 days. Compare that with the rest of the county and the CDD. So kudos to you, Patty. Thank you very much for having the forethought to arrange that ahead of time, ahead of the storm, so that they were ready to get it as soon as the rain stopped.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next item, as report, attorney report. We don't go over that publicly, right? That's just for us. Violations. All right, we go to the violations report.
The one thing I didn't put on the agenda is the future mediation. It was more for board information, but it is part of the collections report. This is the,
Do we want to talk about that now, or we?
we don't have to.
Okay,
That's more of a board member.
that's a legal thing, right?
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
wouldn't do that in open.
Okay.
It could be public,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
until we got a mediation.
Here, let me see.
I just wanted the board to have the information in one place.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, without getting too into it, somebody may be aware of this already, but there was a property that did an extensive amount of landscape work, clearing damage to HOA property, despite multiple warnings, refused to cease. And so we went straight to the lawyer and we said, look, this is just getting worse and worse and more damage. The county is now involved and the HOA is involved. So we extended on November 11th, a statutory offer to participate in mediation, this individual. So we're going down that process right now. For anyone else that wants more information from the board, this is the packet that explains everything. So that's an ongoing legal matter. Other than that, I'm just stating that for awareness.
Yes,
All right, let's see.
and I put the violations in there.
Yes.
So everyone got to see the violations, everything Jen's doing.
All right. You want to lead the charge on that?
Sure, there are several homes that they've sent information out to, without giving names. There's a home on Spotted Harrier Way. That is, going to be a lien put on there, as of 10/22/24. We're not going to foreclose, but, we followed up with them and they have provided a means of method for payment, so that should hopefully take care of itself. Another one on Shell Ridge. We have sent correspondence to the homeowners letting them know that they are in the process of having a lien put against them for not being in compliance. Another on Nature's Reserve Drive. The homeowner defaulted on a payment plan. We offered them a payment plan. They came to us with a payment plan. We accepted the payment plan. They decided that they weren't going to pay the payment plan, so we have revoked that offer, and we are taking legal action with that as well. And another one on Watercolor Drive, where we have sent some foreclosure notice on 10/7. Yeah, we obviously don't want to foreclose or anything, but if we reach out, and they don't do anything, that is all we can do is take legal action. So that's what we're doing. And that is all of the fines that we have currently.
All right, that is, those aren't fines, those are
Those-
the
those are
collections.
The collections.
Right, which is fantastic. We're down from, I think when I joined the board, we had dozens of people that weren't paying their dues. Now we have four.
There are four.
Fantastic.
So absurdly good.
The next item is for the fining committee. These are for architectural fines, things like landscaping fines. Jennifer, am I correct in saying that there's only 4 right now?
That are going, no, for the meeting, no, there's. one,
There's a
two,
lot.
three,
There's a
four,
lot,
five,
yeah.
six,
Must be looking
seven,
at the
eight,
wrong-
nine,
Yeah,
10,
you're looking at the four you're just talking about.
Okay,
10.
This is all of the current fines
And
that are gonna be.
one that's
Oh,
probably
got it.
going to be rectified this weekend.
These ones? I'm sorry. what?
One that has messaged that it will be rectified this weekend, but 10 is what I have sent out.
It's what Jen put in there, yeah. So basically.
No, you-
Amenity misuse. Wanna expand on that a little bit?
I think that was yours.
That's on there.
No, not on here.
It's in the finding packet for the finding.
Is,
Yeah. Many
Then
mistakes
it's
of gas policy.
Oh, so those are the violations that aren't, so these are the violations versus the, committee, defining committee ones.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna say this looks extensive. This is dozens and dozens of violations. This is not the ones going to, okay.
This is going to the finding committee.
Is this it?
um,
The 11 is talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they
these,
showed you.
yeah, so these are the ones that are in process.
Right.
no,
before they go
those are
to
not the ones.
Yeah.
We only
These are
sent-
the ones
she-
that-
Jen sent you
No worries.
another-
Okay, I have it now. I
That's
see you,
fine.
it's the one she emailed out yesterday.
Yeah,
I have it electronically. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. We had,
one that's possibly gonna be rectified this weekend.
sure, brown spots, bare spots in lawn, bare spots in lawn, street tree needs to be replaced. Somebody has shingles on their lawn. Garden boxes need to be removed, bare spots in lawn, overgrowth of backyard, weeds in landscaping beds, and bare spots in lawn. So mostly lawn violations, all issued right around the same time. Final issued on November 20th. Certified mail, November 21st, which is today. You mailed them out
I
today.
mailed them out today.
So just basically at this point, batch approval, I think. All relatively same timeline, same kind of infractions. Send it to the fine committee. So the motion would be to approve these 10 violations at $100 a day until rectified up to $1,000 at the will of the fining committee.
Seconded.
Max seconds. Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, none opposed. Thank you. Glad we got that figured out. All right, that was finding violation recommendations. Next is committee reports, finding committee. Let's see, hold on a second here. All right, so we don't have any update from the finding committee. We're going to talk about that in a second. That'll be new business. I already talked about the social committee. Basically, all that is, oh, we do have, well, I think someone from the finding committee is actually on. Will, do you have an update? Will, can you hear me? If you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Go on to unmute himself.
Yeah. Oh, yes, maybe he's the phone.
Everyone's on mute, Mark.
Rebecca, you're coming in garbled and unreadable.
I was just saying everyone's on mute, so nobody's trying to talk or they're talking on mute.
All right, we'll just press. Meeting minutes from November 24th. Did everybody have a chance to review them?
Yes,
Okay, motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 24th.
I'll second.
I'll
Kevin,
second.
Kevin seconds, all in favor of approving the meeting minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? None opposed. All right, at this time. Let's see, we're gonna do the pool. Do you want to do Tom first? Tom, do you have anything tonight?
Yeah. So we have, the palm install, so in Sagewood and Westlake.
All right, let's do those real quick because those will be quick things, and then we can do the pool because that's going to be a little bit. I'm sure we're all going to have a bunch of questions, and we're going to put some things on the Zoom for everybody to look at.
So we can go to Sagewood.
So we'll go to Sagewood first, palm install and shrub removals.
Over in Sagewood, there is a homeowner that just moved in.
Yeah, so this is a palm install for 13544. Palm install 24. You didn't put the right address on there.
I didn't.
Well,
It's partly there. It's 13554.
palm install is not the name of the street.
No,
Street.
sorry, I just took it from the, so it's Circa.
Circa.
It's only Circa.
Yeah, it's only one road over there. Okay, so it's
Are
950.
we doing Sagewood first? Sorry, I'm just trying to follow which one you're on.
Sagewood for the missing or home to be replaced at $953.70.
Yeah, okay.
Motion would be to. My motion is to replace this palm tree at $953.70. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Kevin seconds, discussion. Rebecca, the stage would have $953.70,
Yes.
right? How, I think we're out of hurricane season, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Are there any other anticipated expenses in Sagebrook for the end of the year?
Yeah, $457.45 for a shrub removal at 135.
Same address.
Same address. So it's in between the driveway.
Right.
We removed a lot of them and put in the grasses, the pink,
Take those and put in some people, practice 6 of them.
so.
Okay,
There'll be less maintenance over the course of the life of the.
yeah, okay.
Hard scratches and-
I guess what I mean is between now and the end of the year, do we foresee any major expenses in Sagebrook?
Now that the landscaping, the power washing's done, I don't have anything else coming.
Okay, okay, great. Any other discussion on the palm tree?
Nope.
Motion to approve the palm tree, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nope.
Not opposed. Palm tree it is. And then there's it's the same address.
Yes.
Yep.
There's a quote for $457.45. Motion to approve the shrub removal and replacement with pink woolly grasses.
Seconded.
Max seconds. Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carries. And then we're moving to Westlake now, right?
Yep.
So Westlake has a quote for mulch. Oop, it's blank. So the quote for mulch in Westlake is $4,998.48. Motion would be to approve the expense of $4,998.48. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Discussion. Rebecca, does Westlake have $4,998.48 to put in mulch?
Yeah, it's budgeted.
That's 616 bags, 3 cubic foot bags of mulch and 65 cubic yards. So just to get a little more detail.
That's a lot of mulch.
That's a lot of mulch.
They have the
65
big
cubic
irons.
yards, you're talking dump trucks full.
Yeah, they have the big irons.
Yeah.
That need to be, but.
Okay.
Now, just an FYI, when Sean, Kathy, Tom and I used to sit in a landscape meeting, it was every other year that we are gonna do mulch,
Mhm.
but. So you'll be able to do this year.
I can give it early 2025.
We approve it now for the 2025,
Okay.
but
Do they have that money in the bank account?
Right now, Westlake has, hold on. Westlake has $7,186 in the bank.
They have $7,000
So you have 5,
and this will eat up $5,000 right
even with basically $2,200.
to the end of the year. Do we anticipate any other Westlake expenses the rest of this year?
they wanted power washing done too.
There's a power washing quote for 2,500. So we can't do both. When's the last time we did mulch?
Last year,
Last year.
power washing too.
How's the mulch look? Not great. When's the last time we power washed?
Last year.
Last year as well.
Yeah, what do you think about the mulch?
Mulch. Definitely over power wash.
Oh, you live over there.
Mhm.
So you want
I
mulch?
run it every day. It's, there's no mulch.
No?
Mhm.
What do you think? Is there anything else that's going to need to get done since you run the neighborhood? Is there anything else that needs to be done? Like, do you want to? I don't mean like you run the neighborhood and you like
Yeah.
physically run. You run through the neighborhood.
We don't know who's chasing him, but he's going out.
No, but I know from a vocal standpoint, mulch has definitely been an ask.
Mhm.
It's been out there.
Okay,
The other option, Mark, is that we have $5,000 budgeted for 2025 for Westlake to power wash, so we could do it in January.
so we could do power washing.
Yeah.
Next year.
Okay,
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, we have mulch budgeted for next year too, but we're gonna need to pay the water bills and the regular landscaping bills and stuff like that too. So we've got to be cautious. Those regular monthly bills, we're gonna have to have cash for it.
treasurer, do you recommend them down to $2,000 in the bank?
Nope, I don't. I think it's better to wait till January. We can do it just to get in the bank balance, and you know, we have other bills that still need to be paid. There's pending invoices that need to go out, so we have about $1,700 that's you know, waiting to be cleared, I think, for them. So and that's just regular bills. So we're gonna need to probably postpone. We could maybe do one of them, but not, definitely not both of them.
Probably better to kick it to 5, and that way you don't run yourself short and bounce any checks or have to have late payments.
And
Yeah,
they'll
I mean-
have to approve to roll
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe potential, put it on the agenda for January.
So the motion was to approve it. All in favor of approving mulch, say aye. All opposed, say, what did we say, nay? Nay.
Nay.
All right, motion is defeated. We'll put the mulch off till next year. The next one for Westlake is power washing. Motion to approve $2,560 for pressure washing throughout Westlake. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Max seconds it. If nobody seconds it, just Robert's Rules of Order. If nobody seconds it, we don't talk about it. Like, we're trying to move things along. So Max seconded it, so we can talk about it. Pressure washing, I think all the same budget things still apply.
Yep.
That'll spend them down a little bit to, what I have, like
With a lot.
$4,500 left.
Mhm.
So it'll still be kind of tight. Any further discussion?
My personal opinion, just given the fact that we've had to hold paying bills month to month for Westlake. I mean, these were both budgeted items, but because of some of the emergency tree trimming that we had to do for safety issues earlier this year, we had to spend it. So I think we're going to have to defer these, you know, to next year. I don't feel comfortable taking the bank balance down that low and running the risk that we have checks bounce for the regular bills.
Very well.
Put it to a vote.
Yeah.
All right, the motion was to approve it. All in favor of approving the pressure washing, say aye. All opposed, say nay.
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 I only seconded it so we can get to.
Motion is defeated.
I think that's the second time I've ever said nay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Feels
Can
good.
we get it on the agenda for January to talk about then?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And that's done.
that way we'll see if we're in a better spot.
All right, let's go
Talk
to
about.
anything else from landscaping, so we can let Tom go.
Yeah.
Close to the end, I would do-
Nope, that's all I need.
Anything for us, sir?
Yeah.
Gonna be a few weeks.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is that if, you know, those you know, activities still need to happen. So I do think that we should, you know, resurface them in the new year so we can get them done early in the year.
I'd recommend putting out, just putting in 1 month, talking in December, you'll have a better idea.
As we,
And then it can be scheduled.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Tom. Have a great night.
I thought-
Great job on the Christmas lights.
You did the mulch.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, the next item, let's talk about Pool Works. We got a couple mock-ups of what we're thinking for our dilapidated play center in the pool. I'd like to introduce Dawn from the Pool Works. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the agenda. Dawn, can you queue up? Can we hear you?
Sure, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Loud and clear.
All right, Dawn, will you be wanting to share screen, or do you want me to put up the pictures you sent?
You can put them up. I wasn't prepared to share screen. I haven't done that on Zoom, haven't had to.
right.
Also wanted to let you guys know that on the Zoom call with us is Don Ball, Mark that you've met and Patty has met as well. He's the owner of the Pool Works and he's joined us as well to be present.
Patty, we don't have.
Dawn and Don, nice to meet you
No,
guys
thank
both
you.
officially.
It's the one I sent out today.
All right, let's
Yeah.
let's go. Dawn, it's over to you. It's your show to run. Go ahead.
Okay, all righty. Well, thanks for having us. I appreciate it. So we came out a few weeks ago and did a site visit and to ascertain, your present equipment, the state of the play set and the connections and the water flow requirements and all that, just kind of getting an idea of what would be required to undertake replacement of a set. As part of the already approved resurfacing project, built in that is already handling some surface work. And it would have been working around the existing play set. As we've discussed, we came up with 3 separate proposed play sets. Each of them work within the space that's allowed in the pool. And then also it meets the water flow requirements for what you have. You have a 4-inch main line, and then you also have a 2-inch separate line. There you go. Okay. I can't necessarily see that, but I'll take your word for it. Okay. So there are 2 lines that feed the play set and the accessory play area to the right side of the play set as you face it. So part of what we've proposed, the first play set, well, actually all 3 play sets offer inclusive play, various types of play, a wide range of age abilities to enjoy the area, and a diversity of price points to choose from based on desire. So it gives you a range of sets to discuss, based on your budget capabilities. Now, the first one that we proposed was called the 201D. So that's what I would call a entry-level replacement for that area. It's simple play. It has the dimensions are 26 by 20 and the height is 20 feet high. So part of what we've proposed, there you go. Part of what we've proposed, the proposal includes, pardon me, the delivery, the installation, permitting, engineering. So with each of these play sets, it includes the prep work for the pool surface as part of the previous scope that's been approved for the resurfacing of the 2 pools. This project would go on top of that. What we have discussed with you is weighing these 3 proposals and seeing if we can schedule this to do it at the same time. The economies of scale, we're already there. You save money on the installation because we're already there to do the work. It's nice to get in and get out with a project, a combined project of this scope, and then be done, and not taking it down multiple times and doing rework to install a new set. So that kind of works in your favor and saves you a bunch of money. So having said that, this is the 201D play set. You'll see that there's lots of fun features. As a part of this, you'll see that in each of these proposals, well, in the 201D and the 301B boy, there are little nuances in accessories. The framework, the slides, that all remains the same. The nuances will be the accessories, whether it's a spraying palm and you have, 2 buckets, or you want to swap things out a little bit. Those little nuances can be done during the design meeting for whatever play set may be approved. So are there any questions on this play set? Or we can go through the play sets and then ask questions during or after, whatever you'd like to do.
My only question is, like on the yellow platform, it looks like the child is holding onto a post or pole. That seems like it could be a hazard if somebody slips and hits their face on it or something. Just wondering if that is, I don't know how that piece works, but can you explain that a little?
So that is, what you call an interactive hand sprayer, right? If those things are something when you sit down to do the final design meeting, we can nuance those things. So if you want to forego that to do something else, those are things that can be discussed in the design meeting. So there is some play, even though this is essentially the base unit, there is play in the design.
Great, that's great to know. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay. If there are any, sorry, what was that?
Let's go to the three.
Okay, so let's go to the 301B. Okay. So, sorry, this is not the most sexy rendering. There you go. So this one is a larger play set, takes up more area. This one would be the largest of the play sets to fit in that area. It maxes out your flow capabilities. It has a lot more play. The original design of this was a 34-foot tip-to-tip design, where that is beyond what you can fit in that area appropriately. So what we've done is we've scaled this down a little bit, not in the slide area, but on the framing itself, so that that part is made a little smaller by a few feet, so that it fits in the area and you have appropriate exit size on either side, tip to tip, as you come down the slides on either side. This one, pardon me, this particular play set would require more pool structure modifications because of the size and because of the need to have the areas when you exit the slides, they have to be level to the surface. So having said that, you'll see that you have a tipping bucket, other play accessories, but you do feature multiple slides. You have steps. You do have acrylic. I didn't mention that before. You do have acrylic areas for safety. There you go. Perfect. So this is one that's already been installed. And you'll see that what we've done is, you'll see in the purple, that is what we call a family slide. And then the other slide on the other side is a double slide. Then you have the steps that have acrylic on either side, so that it makes it safer, so that no one is falling off the sides, in between features, or anything like that. So you have acrylic around the play structure for safety. The other thing that I'll say is, again, with this, if there's certain little accessory water features that are off the play set in a design meeting, again, we can look and say, well, I think I'd like to have these options or whatever. We can review what those options are. And you could say, swap out, the palm that sprays and put, tipping buckets in another place. So we can nuance those things at the time of the design. But this is, again, the general play set. And this is the largest play set that you can put in that area. So yeah, I think that's, this is what I would call your Mac Daddy for size to fit in that area.
Hey, Dawn, let me jump in here real quick. Just
Yes.
give another little perspective, and I don't think everybody could hear me earlier, so thank you for having us. Really appreciate this opportunity. But when we're talking about the design and filling up the space and the area, as you're familiar, when you walk into that part of the pool, it starts out at zero depth, but it gets deeper the further you go into the pool. So you don't get too far out, and you're already in 2 feet, 2.5 feet, 3 feet, and so on. So that's what we're kind of limited by. You don't want one of these activity sets, spanning out into those deeper depths. So we had to get creative as far as where the stairs were, the slides were going to end. proximity to the edge of the pool. And this is the biggest one that we could fit in safely without, having children, going down a slide and landing maybe into 3 foot of water where they might not be an accomplished swimmer. So that's not a good idea. So just trying to give a perspective on the limitations there. It's mainly on depth and size of the area.
Great. Okay. So now this is the pirate ship. So this is a different kind of play set. This one is fabricated with metal structure inside, and then it's outfitted with structural foam, which has an aqua armor coating, which is the most durable. That's for chlorine, UV, and vandal resistant coating. It's the best one in the industry. This creates a lot of fun play. You'll see that there are 2 slides. One comes out the bow. That's your single slide. There's one that comes out the stern, out the back, which is a double slide. There's the double slide because that's the back. And then it also features 13 sprayers all the way around, and you have obviously water spitting out of the cannon. So you have a real nice pirate theme. And then out of the bow of the ship, you have that piece that comes off the front, and that spouts out water as well. As a part of this proposal, we've also offered options for that side area where you presently have a little feature off to the side for younger play, where we have offered options. And you can see it there in that picture. See that guy in the far right corner? Behind him is the ship's cannon. So that gives you a little scale of what it would look like. So what we've done is you have the base play set, and then you have the option of adding other options off to that side area, because the pirate ship will work off of the 4-inch main feed. And then these accessories or the side features will work off of the 2-inch line. And then you're still working within your flow requirements. Don, did you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, just the reason we wanted to do a side feature is you have those 2 different water supply lines that are existing. So the pirate ship kind of being maybe for a older age group of children, and we wanted to incorporate something that was a little more inclusive of the younger swimmers. So that's why we were thinking of something smaller off to the side, which is very similar to what you have now. You kind of have you have a water table there that's kind of interactive, and it's for the younger swimmers. So it just kind of, makes good use of that water supply that's there, and fills the space out, and a little more inclusive on the age groups.
Yeah, this one really, I mean, I think the 301B has a wow factor, but this is a lot of fun on this one. This one really is a focal point for the pool and for play.
What are the dimensions on this one?
So
So
this
the dimension,
30
okay, go
by
ahead.
30 by 8, is that correct?
Yeah, well, it's 26 by 8, and you have 23. The height is 23 feet high. So the footprint's 26 by 8.
Shorter and narrower than
Yep.
But
I think it's a good idea.
It's got 2 sets of slides. It actually, I think the theme of it is really cool.
And the material, Dawn, is better in the pirate ship than it is in the other.
I
was thinking, Patty, that it seems like the pirate ship would be a lot more durable and long lasting just because of it's more substantial.
Well, they're both very durable. They're both meant for a lot of use, water play. So I would say, based on both sets, it's really going to come down to what kind of play you want. They will both serve you well. But as Mark says, it's, you know, what you feel is the wow factor, or what is the design that most suits what you're looking to accomplish. But both will serve you well because they're made by the best manufacturer in the industry.
What do you anticipate the lifespan of something like this being?
So Kevin, right?
Yeah, Kevin.
But 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
The other question is, yeah. And then the acrylic on the other ones, Florida Sun eats everything. So what's the lifespan on the acrylic panels? Are they gonna fog out, chalk out, get brittle? And then do they have to be replaced? What's that lifespan look like?
So the lifespan is still the same for the other play sets. The only difference is there's going to be some maintenance that's just, you know, semi-annual. And what you do is when you shut the play set down, you're going to be using certain products that will help not only clean, but protect the materials. So the use and abuse and the sun will depend on typical care and maintenance, which is very simple. If you do those things, it really makes the play sets last longer.
And then the maintenance between the ones with the acrylic panels compared to the pirate chip. I'm assuming the pirate chip is gonna have to have some sort of maintenance on its finish, like you have to wax your car here. I'm assuming there's some like that.
Yeah, there's gonna be maintenance on that as well. It's nothing earth shattering. It's very simple. It can be it'll be done for you. You know, that can be a paid service.
If you had a
So-
ballpark, what would that be? Just, you know, trying to figure out what the annual cost of that maintenance would be. Do you have like a ballpark?
So I don't have that for you right now, but that is something that I can present to you at another time.
Okay. Yeah, just, you know, we want to have like $50,000 of annual maintenance because I think.
No. I get it. It's not that, but I will get those numbers for you because I do want you to be able to properly budget the reserve for the future. But it is simpler maintenance. But it's not $50,000.
I just threw out a number.
You're having fun with it. I get it.
I have no idea, but yeah, I know that that would be one of the questions we'd be remiss if we didn't ask. And then 25 years is the lifespan on that. And then between the two, is there one that would stand up better to wear and tear? Like, is the construction of the pirate ship better for wear and tear? Because I mean, that looks like something that you'd see at a resort park compared to the other, which you'd see maybe at a hotel. So I'm just trying to figure out if we're gonna spend this much money, because it is a substantial amount of money.
Yes.
Which would be, you know, we would be really foolish if we didn't spend the extra $50,000 or $20,000 or whatever it is for the equipment, if the equipment would last longer or have less maintenance or wear better than another one.
I'll share my thoughts and then I'll let Don share his thoughts. For me, they're both made to be played on and to weather the Florida sun. So I don't necessarily think that one is going to be any different than the other. I will say that the Aqua Armor is a very hard coating. You're not dealing with the acrylic, like you said. You don't have the additional accessories. But as far as standard wear and tear and things like that, they'll both wear very well. You just have a different process, Kevin, with how the ship is made. It's a completely different process. It's a more expensive process, but they are both meant to be in hotels and resorts, and they are. So they'll both serve you well. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I think that's all my questions.
Okay.
Yep. Kevin, let me jump in real quick, just to add one last thing. They're kind of two different type of play sets where there's a lot more moving parts with one versus the other. And we all know moving parts wear out and the bushings for the dumping buckets wear out. And I think that's actually a lot of the issues you're having with your existing play set is all the movable features are gone or disconnected or just no longer in use. So from that perspective, the pirate ship probably yields to lasting longer with less maintenance from, movable parts and things that are going to be interacted with. So, but that's really about it. Just a little nuance I wanted to mention.
I appreciate the perspective.
On maintenance, I would like to note one thing, where our current playset was manufactured in Canada, and when we want to get parts for it, we have to go to Canada.
USA.
Right out of Largo, is it?
That's where AquaWorks is located out of.
Local parts supplier, local parts repair.
Yes.
What are like the weight limits on all the slides? Are they all about the same? Because you're gonna have 18-year-olds climbing on.
Thomas, are you trying to go down the slides?
I might. On the ship.
I'm not going on the
Station
That's
there.
my dog.
Well, and you might have parents trying to go down with young children as well. You could have, a 2-year-old that goes down with their parents down the slide. So it's a good question, Thomas.
Yes.
You can stay for the rest of the meeting.
Sounds my
So-
slide.
So it's made, if I will see if there is a weight, a maximum weight, but you'll see that adults do go on these because they are accompanying younger children. So it is made for that. If you would like to know if there is a maximum suggested weight, I can get that for you. But, typically parents are up and down on that as well.
So you
I'm a heavy person, so it's gotta-
Can we also, can we just go through 1, 2, and 3 and look at the proposal cost? I know they all have accessorials you can add to it, but can we just look at what cost was for 1, 2, and 3?
254 for the first one,
Okay.
400 and change for the second, and 285 for the pirate. If I read it correctly.
I was curious about the pirate ship. You showed a number of ancillary options that we could scatter around. Is the price including any of those, or would those be in addition to?
So that is in addition to. So I gave you the full pirate ship installation, and then you just add on for those, either one of those choices. You pick from one of those 5, and that will go to the side of the playset. So that is a good question. It is an additional number. That's why, Rebecca, that's why I have on the proposal authorize approval, so that you'll know that that is an additional number.
Where is
Okay.
And you could choose to pick none of those. You don't have to pick one of those, auxiliary. But the piping is there, the water flows there. We thought we would propose it. So we've got a pretty big price range on those, from a little, less expensive to more expensive, but you could choose none.
And I do think it's helpful to have something off to the side for the little kids, because, when they're really small in diapers or whatever, running around, having something that they can interact with will be nice, because there's a lot of little kids in this neighborhood.
The treasure chest lid is secured, right? It doesn't open and close.
No, that is a solid piece of foam. It's just a visual. It does not open and close. No.
I'm just thinking one of my twins would shove the other one in there and close it and be like, see ya.
No.
think it's a good
Impossible.
I can totally see a child trying to climb in there and just, take a rest, though.
Right?
There one of these pirate ships installed locally that if we wanted to go see it, we could?
Not locally.
How
Sorry.
far is not local?
Canada.
Texas.
With the
Texas.
Texas, okay.
Yeah.
So we will be the only
I hear that.
association east of the Mississippi that has one of these pirate ships.
And relatively close to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun to me.
Additional features. Could we install multiple? Could it be engineered to install 2 or 3 of these?
You had to stop.
Yeah, that's going to be a flow question, because on those, it doesn't require much flow. However, that's that's for Don to decide because that's additional work.
I noticed that, so when I was reviewing these, the largest place ship is about place ship, oh, excuse me, place ship, play,
Pirate ship.
Place set.
Pirate ship.
place set, that's what I'm trying to say, sorry.
Place set.
Number 201D.
Yeah, the
301D,
201.
the biggest one.
Pirate ship.
Just say it
The
again.
201 and the 301, both are between 400 and 450 gallons per minute. Whereas the pirate ship is only 25 gallons per minute. Is that what I saw?
No, so what happens here is you have a maximum of 250 gallons per minute for any play set. Okay. Because the water that you use is drawn from a main drain grate on a sidewall on the back side of the pool. So that is your maximum. These play sets are being constructed so that you do not exceed that. So that's how this has been engineered. So as an example, the 301B normally has I believe it's a 550 gallon per minute. So modifications were made. That's why you have that family slide, the purple slide. It requires less flow. Also, through valves, the water flow is controlled to the play set. So that is in play for the 201D, the 301B, and the pirate ship is actually 100 gallons per minute because that's the way it's engineered. Do you still have water spitting out everywhere? You do. It's just manufactured in a different way.
Smaller pipes, more pressure.
So I hope that kind of made sense to everybody. We had to work with the limitations that you have there, because it would be incredibly expensive to increase your limitations there, and not necessary to get the effect you want. 250 gallons a minute is a lot of water to be spraying around. So that given, with the pirate ship, to answer your question directly, we probably could divert some water and maybe get 2 of those additional features. Mark, just to answer your question directly, 3 is probably pushing it, but we can check into that and see if we can get the flow out of the 2-inch line and maybe get 2 of those to go. So we hadn't really contemplated that. So excellent question, and we can do a little research on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just
I like that.
one more question. The prices we're looking at, that includes our existing infrastructure, right? So we're not gonna have to change anything pipes wise, anything underneath.
Right.
So the price that we're seeing, that's really the all in, because you're not having to do the infrastructure work with the pipes.
Right.
Okay.
So that would say the 450K for the other.
Yeah,
That's,
right.
that means no brainer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That goes what?
Yeah. That goes away.
Oh, that's your. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I was asking that.
Great.
This is
That's why they came
just a
up.
presentation. There's no decision tonight.
Yeah, no,
So
I know.
Everybody can think
But
of
it's-
more questions and
Yeah.
send them in.
Don't
Yeah.
have a period of time.
No.
Yeah.
So
when do we need to make a decision?
Don, do you want to answer that? How
I'm
soon
sorry?
how soon do you need an answer to start the design team?
So we're looking at 30 days.
So it needs to be on next month's agenda.
So even though we're not doing this until winter 25, 26, we need to decide in the next 30 days which play set that we want.
They have to order it and implement it and everything like that, yes.
Is that correct, Don?
Yes, that's best case scenario.
Okay. I think
So
we,
what we're up against with the manufacturer is when we lock the deal in, we can lock in our pricing and protect it. Because everybody knows things increase all the time. So we have that extension from them to give you guys some time. If you need it a little bit longer than 30 days, I'm sure that could be worked out too. But we just didn't want this to go 3 or 4 months down the road and have to completely reprice the options for you. We wanted to present something that was actionable and that we could hold the price on and put into line. So beyond that, the permitting process and everything we'd have to do to put it into motion is what we'd want to immediately start on.
Understood.
So we know as a takeaway, they're gonna go and look and see if they can reconfigure the third option to see if they can get extra structure. So that's what we're really waiting on from them.
Extra structures, and then in the odd chance that things improve, what if what if we agree to these prices and prices go down?
Nice try.
I would love that to happen, but I don't foresee that. There are scheduled, just, it's a fair question. However, we're already aware that pricing will be changing in the new year. So there's anticipated price increases that we're trying to avoid incurring by getting this decided. And get, and then we lock that in, because you're saving a bunch of money by doing that, because nothing goes down anymore, which would be nice, but reality based, it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
So follow-up question to that is, if we decide to go forward, how much money do you need for a down payment? When does that need to go? And what does the payment schedule look like?
So the process will begin with the sign off. We'll have the design meeting. And then once we establish said timelines for engineering, because we'll have to get engineered plans and permit, we'll have to look at the manufacturer's timeline. So we will make that deposit request once we go through all of those things to let you know, so that you can plan on when that will be happening. We're not going to do that tomorrow. If you were to sign tomorrow, just pretend. We're not invoicing too ahead of when it needs to be invoiced. It's based on manufacturing, engineering, and permitting.
So I'm assuming there'll be a step process, like if you do a pool at your house, it's so much when they start, and then you do a payment schedule, right?
It's listed in there.
It's
Yeah.
Well, what we have, sorry, go ahead, Don.
Let me jump in on that, because this is an important question, and I kind of understand why it's being asked. So I want to directly address it. Even with the project we have with your pool, which is under contract, all we have is a signature. We haven't invoiced a deposit for any of that work, and we won't be invoicing a deposit until 90 days prior to commencement. So if we did take a deposit on this project, it'd be very small, probably around 5, maybe 10% to cover our engineering costs and our upfront costs associated with getting this in line. But the bulk of the money would be closer to commencement, and then progress payments during. So we don't look for large amounts of money up front because it's not necessary.
Fair enough. Thank you.
All right. Any other pool related questions?
No comments from.
This was a helpful presentation. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Excellent job, Dawn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Don, you guys have a great night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Good night.
All right. Next thing we have,
Can I add one thing real quick?
yeah.
Does it make sense for maybe Rebecca Thomas to take a look at the budgeted dollars, everything, just to get us back aligned, considering there's a difference in what we budgeted versus what the
Well,
actual.
I was looking at it actually while we were talking, because we have the pool resurface and we have the splash pad replacement. Those two combined, we only had in the reserve study was only 201,000. So I think I'm going from memory, so don't hold me to this, but I think the splash pad was like 65 or 70,000, and then the rest of it was for the pool resurface. So that's what we have currently in the reserve allocated. But we also included in the budget for next year the money for the re-engineering, which would be probably almost equivalent to what the difference is here. So even though we don't have to, if we go with these options and we don't have to do the pool re-engineering, we would still have a significant amount the cost of this is significantly more than the plan from the reserve study that was done a few years ago. So I don't know that it's going to be saving us a ton. But I mean, we can take a look at it, and, kind of crunch the numbers, but my guess is that we're at least going to need, because the pool resurface itself, I think, came in at $200,000. So this would be essentially $400,000 on top of that. So the amount of the reserve is probably only going to cover the pool resurface.
We're better off than we thought because we won't have the $500,000 for the re-engineering and the new piping.
Right.
So that $500,000 would basically cover the cost of the pirate ship and 2 or 3 additional features.
Exactly.
Easily.
Yeah, exactly. It ends up, without the re-engineering, the cost of these play structures would kind of end up being a wash. So.
Yeah, but then it's something you can actually tangibly see and use instead
Yes, exactly.
of.
And we might, I mean, depending on, the final costs of the installation and everything on these options, I think one of them was, $300,000. If we went, I think the pirate ship without the other structures was about $300,000. And so that might mean that we would be able to reduce, some of the assessment for 2026. Because we wouldn't have that huge re-engineering cost that we're trying to amortize over a couple of years.
Yeah,
So it would probably save us some.
45. So
It's still only saving $100,000.
180, 175.
Yeah. I mean, this is a
Big.
great idea.
No,
It is.
And I think the pirate ship looks amazing.
Yeah, I have to agree, Kevin. I think these are by far the best options that we've seen. The cost is better than any of the other options that we've seen, and we don't have to tear up the entire pool and re-engineer it, which is, gonna shut the pool down for a long, long time, which is not a great, solution either.
We would have re-landscaping and all the other stuff that comes with
That's
digging.
right.
From her exactly where the one is in Texas,
I can find out, yeah,
like address the whole deal.
I'm sure.
I mean, I have my entire team in Texas, so I'll make them go.
And that, the 301B is also a real picture, so that is
Yeah.
installed somewhere as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Just do the Google search, if you take a photo of Google, throw it in Google, it'll show you where it's at.
Yeah.
That pirate ship is pretty cool.
One question we might want to ask as well, if the accessories are something we want, but we can't afford in the next year or two, is there a way to pipe them?
Cap them.
Yeah.
And we do that
Yeah, great
over
point.
you do the pirate ship initially, no accessories, then next year do an accessory, year after that, or 2 years, do another accessory.
I mean, it's smart.
I don't know,
It's smart to
because the one
entertain.
accessory is 25 grand, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
As I understand it, we're gonna,
15,
when it comes to
40.
paying, we're gonna owe some money next year upfront.
Yeah.
Project's not gonna be finished till 2026.
Right.
We don't owe money, the rest of the money until it's completed.
Yeah.
So we use next year's budgeted amount, which is $500,000 that we're gonna repipe and everything to pay the down payment and the
Yeah.
entire thing. And whatever's left, we put it in the 2026 budget, which would be significantly less than
Yeah.
500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they do have to come back out, then we're gonna have to pay for
Pay
the
that
crew to
again.
come back
Yeah.
out,
Yeah,
so
no,
it could, that $25,000.
Make
will
it
go
eat
up.
up.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
big
you're right.
closet thing would be
Well,
changing them out when it's already installed to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
So it's just throwing it out there, but you may put the, whatever, gold chest and then you switch it for the sword 2 years later,
Or the accessory itself. instead
You're
of
right,
the
that's
pipe.
what I mean, the accessory, so
There you go.
you
That's
could
a
be
good
smart
idea.
in that
Put
logic.
one in storage and.
Yeah.
Interesting idea.
How easy
Yeah.
is to put it on and off?
Well, I
That's
don't
what we
know.
have. come
That's
to.
another
It
question.
doesn't seem to be something you just gotta screw in, but yeah. okay.
Yeah,
They bolt it down.
Yeah.
Mark's a big guy, he
I
can
mean,
pick it up.
as long as you can hold,
and
as
it's phones.
long as you don't Thomas in my weight, I'm on.
Can we press?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so, this is
please.
fantastic.
Okay.
Whoever came up with this, thank you, kudos.
Yes.
Good work.
Well,
Very
remember
good.
the first thing we had, it's like a
Fantastic.
pipe of the spray.
Yeah, that was like. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about finding committee. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so I had Patty send out the finding committee charter. Because I wanted to go through it and talk about appointments and how that works. So we have 5 volunteers right now. We have 2 active members of the finding committee, 1 inactive member who, right, we're just down to 2, right? And
There is 3, but one has not been able to attend any of the
Right.
meetings.
Yeah.
so they haven't been able to make quorum, so. Really, so the board, how this works. We as the board appoint the chairman of the finding committee. And then the chairman, to separate the board from the selection of all the members, the chairman picks the rest of the members.
Right.
So this is
Which is-
section 2
That
of the
has not been
article.
done before, so that's why we're making.
What's that?
That hasn't been done before, that's why we're
Right.
making the change now.
So nobody has actually. We've never actually assigned a chairman of the finding committee because we just had a bunch of volunteers. Well, we had 3 volunteers, so
Very well.
bada bing, bada boom, you 3 are the committee. Within internally, they kind of worked out the chain of command, but we need to officially sign chairperson. Because they, let's see, Article 4, Section 3 states the master board of directors, that's us, will appoint 1 member as chairperson. And then it says, members of that committee shall be selected by the chairperson with the approval of the committee from a pool of HOA voting members who have expressed an interest in serving on the committee. The chairperson, along with approval of the committee, shall also make appointments to fill vacancies that may occur prior to completion of the term. So, in keeping with that, we have 2 members right now. There's Will and Chris. My motion is that Will Jim Ronzik be appointed as chairperson of the finding committee.
I'll second.
Okay, Kevin seconds. Any discussion?
Thank you for their service.
Questions?
I mean, I
concerns?
don't know Chris, I know Will, so I.
Yeah.
I-
Okay,
Branches.
And he's been on the board, so he knows administratively how to run things.
I will say that of all committees, the finding committee is the one where you must have the biggest grasp of the documents, the biggest grasp of law, the biggest grasp of the procedures. This is not a committee for someone that has an axe to grind to then join and take out their frustrations. This is a serious committee. You're talking about taking money out of people's pockets. And so this is not a burden to be taken lightly. It is a burden for the individuals. So I thank those that volunteered and all in favor of appointing Will as chairperson, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, none opposed. Congratulations, Will. Thank you for your service.
Is he on?
He is not on. He might be actually.
He's not, I don't see his.
No, he's not on.
I'm just curious.
Okay, so we'll give Will the information from those that volunteered. We'll give him the bios from those that did submit bios, and then he will select his committee. Okay. Election committee. There's only 2 people that volunteered.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
You're it.
Right? I mean, motion to approve Bob Dooley and Gary Himmer to the election committee.
Second,
Second, any discussion?
do we need more than 2 or is?
We may need to try to get more, yeah. So I haven't looked at their charter. I don't know if it's written differently than the finding committee charter.
Do we have any elections coming up? I thought we didn't have volunteers. We
And we
have.
have no.
We have no volunteers yet. So
So-
side note, board election coming up December 19th. As of yet, no volunteers. But we will appoint these 2 to the election committee.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope, none opposed. Thank you, Bob and Gary. All right,
What was that date again? What was the-
December 19th.
right.
Oh, where is- I think I already have it.
2 items left on the agenda. There's the pool troopers maintenance. Is this just this has been done? It's just,
Yes, I approved it to keep things going.
yep. It was for $775. It was required. It was a code violation. The pool troopers maintenance company caught it before the inspectors did, which is fantastic. This is a nice turn of events from previous pool companies. I like to see that. So this is really just for awareness. Thank you, Patty, for taking care of that. And the last one is 5848. This is in Sandpiper. 5848 Spotted Harrier Way. There's a mainline leak. And the quoted price is $2,500.
Not to exceed,
Not to exceed.
yes, so they have to go underneath the the sidewalk,
Oh my.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Are they tearing up sidewalk?
No.
No, they just have to, okay, they
Run a
probably
new
use
line.
yeah, the water irrigation, the way they use it to blast out the dirt. All right. All right, so motion to approve not to exceed $2,500 to fix a water main line leak at 5848 Spotted Harrier Way. Is there a second?
Second.
Max seconds. Any questions or discussion? No.
Well,
Okay.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
So the main line is our responsibility. When I thought, when does it not become our
when
responsibility?
it attaches to the irrigation system.
Okay, so we're responsible to get it all the way there. Okay, not just double check. Some places, no.
Great question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Is it not? Looks like a sprinkler line.
Yeah.
Like the main line.
So the main line is connecting to the irrigation line that goes under this portion.
I know in Tampa, there's a problem because you're responsible to get it out from your house to.
Right, to the end of the street,
Right.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
interesting. All right, no, okay, that's a clarification.
So I missed it, who, Mark motioned and who
Other,
seconded?
Matt.
other questions?
Negative.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
I was hoping to say no.
None opposed. That was everybody. Motion carries. Thank you. That is it for agenda items. Patty, any board members or Patty have any other things you want to talk about?
I have one, who's responsible for our sidewalks?
Which part of the sidewalk?
So on Village Center Drive near Watercolor where the
The county?
trail going to goes through the conservation area.
Mhm.
Somebody had a pool installed at
Yeah.
some point.
Mhm. And
They
very good.
cracked a storm drain and it is washing out underneath the street. That'll eventually turn into a giant sinkhole.
Mhm.
I have pictures, but I took.
Yeah, we know which house that was too.
Yeah,
And I have called it into the county. I thought it was CDD and then I called it into the county. The county supposedly came out. I don't think they did, but it is county.
okay. Yeah, cause the more that washes out, the street's just gonna cave in.
Mhm.
I mean, it's underneath the street.
That's not good.
There's a big hole,
Holy cow.
yeah. And then this is where the sidewalk is collapsing in on itself.
So this is up by down by
where-
Watercolor.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
watercolor comes out
Blocking
behind
the
the
green
street
space
is where the
behind it.
walkway is, it's right there, if you go over there, you can see obviously some big trucks rolled over to do some pool work or whatever, but
Yeah.
cracked the sidewalk, but they obviously cracked the storm drain. And it's now washing out from underneath the street.
Mhm.
And then further on the other side is a sprinkler head that's roped off, that's washing out under the street,
And that's not even, that's a main drain.
that's the main drain doing it too.
That's the county too.
Is it county though, or is it homeowner that we need to
Well-
connect with?
Well, the county has to go after the homeowner.
Yeah,
to
that's
get
all
it
right.
repaired,
At that point.
because it's their property, so we
Okay.
can't even.
Okay,
And Patty has to go after the county.
okay, I just wanna bring this up because
Yeah.
if that street washes out, then we're not gonna be able to drive out of our.
Yeah,
Can you send me those pictures so I can go after the county? Thank
But then
you.
again,
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
it's not our property.
It's not our property,
CDDs.
but
No, it's.
the HOA is kind of,
See,
I'm responsible for all things my
Yeah.
community does or fails to do, so.
yeah.
No, I mean, I understand. It's
not
one
right.
of those,
Right, right.
but yeah.
And I have to, for the guys.
Anything else?
No.
Nope.
I'd like to open it up to community comments. There's nobody in the room. We have a couple online. Anybody online want to say anything?
If you do, just click on the raise your hand button.
Yeah, if you're having a problem. You're in. No, I guess not.
Yeah.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Have a great night all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.